Okay. What do we got here? Right, so, well, I suppose hello first. This is my first behind the scenes video for you guys, the patrons. I know right now it looks very much like the scene, not very behind the scenes-y, but we'll get to that in a moment. I've got a few notes here on a few things I want to update you guys on and cover first. So, firstly, the behind the scenes stuff, because we haven't done that before. We've been talking about it for a while, and I thought it's about time I made one. It's January 2018. Let's get this kickstart off. I know Tim's working on one very soon. So I think the plan is that Tim and I will create a behind the scenes video at least once a month, and I think that'll be one each. So you should get 2 behind the scenes videos each month, at least one anyway, worst case. We'll also be doing a live stream for the patrons. So we're planning a patron live stream each month, and that will be done at Tim's new studio. So we're setting that up, and he does have a spiffy new internet connection there that will be able to, that'll allow us to stream in high quality, basically, so we get good video and audio. So that'll be good. So I think at the moment we're planning on doing that around the 22nd of this month. We'll let you guys all know about a week in advance, so you'll have plenty of time to know when that's happening, and we'll also give you a time. We're trying to work out now a time that suits everyone. So yeah, that'll be, or the majority of you anyway, because we won't be able to pick a time that suits everyone probably. And anyway, the plan there will be to discuss sort of hot topics of the month and answer any questions you guys might have, and just give you updates on things that we're planning on changing or doing with the channel. Expect this to evolve. It'll change over the course of the next year with probably help from your input. Not exactly sure, what we're going to do with a lot of the videos. I do have a few cool ideas for things I want to do. One thing that I've really wanted to do for a long time, and that was even more on the main channel, but I think this is something we could do first for you guys, is film the process of a mega benchmark session. So testing out a brand new AAA title that's come out. So the next big game to get released, I'll probably set up the camera. It's going to be a little bit difficult to film it because I kind of sit there sometimes for just 16 hours straight and just benchmark, have my breakfast, lunch and dinner at the computer, squeezing in benchmarks as I go. So that'll be a kind of a fun, interesting thing to film. So yeah, looking forward to doing that. It's definitely something I'm going to do this year, hopefully sooner rather than later. But for this particular video right now, I don't have too much to do, which is why I'm just sitting here in the usual set talking to you. But I thought I'd give you a bit of a tour of the studio, which is kind of unimpressive. It's just one of the bedrooms in my house that I have spare, but it works quite well for the purpose. And I will also be finally stripping down the Tower 900. This fella here is going, the bar fridge, getting rid of it. It's been there for a long time now, so I thought we'd change it up. We do have, what can I tell you about the new one that we've got planned? So I can't actually talk about the case that I'll be using, but it will be a new model from Corsair. So some of you may be able to work out what that means, but it will be mostly parts from Corsair and MSI going into this new build. It'll be a different kind of case, so I'm probably going to have to make something to sit it on. So maybe there'll be a behind the scenes episode on that. But I'll have to make some sort of little table, and there'll be a case, and I don't exactly know how big this new case is going to be, but I know this one here is massive. I think the new one could be equally as massive. And yeah, as I said, MSI are providing graphics cards, motherboards for that. I'll have to buy the CPUs myself. And Corsair provided a heap of components to go into it. I can actually give you a quick look at the components that are going into it now. So we'll do that quickly, and then we'll move on to something else. So I don't really have a vlogging camera set up, and my mic is just stationary in the middle of the room. So hopefully this sounds okay. I need to get a bit of money and buy myself a good vlogging camera with audio and whatnot. But as you can sort of see from this shot here, I have a couple of boxes piled up here, which we'll go through in a moment. Check them out. There's a heap of Corsair products in them. This is the studio, so the shelving here that you see behind me, well, that's the shelving the way you see. That goes quite high up. It's pretty well full. Goes from one end of the room to the other, so I made that shelving myself. So a lot of people think it's IKEA shelving, but it is just made out of timber, which I've painted. So it gives you sort of a close-up of that. It took me a few days to build that because, as you can see, it is quite large. But yeah, it serves the purpose for the set really well. I just got a nice new air conditioner put in up the top here. So that's going to help for summer because I've been sweating it out in this back room pretty bad. During the summer, we've got the 40-degree days. This room, it's the coolest room of the house, but once it heats up, and especially as you can see, I've got all these LED lights, so they throw out a little bit of heat. And then obviously I've got the computer down here that throws out a bit of heat. This little lamp here throws out a bit of heat. I throw out a bit of heat. So yeah, it gets pretty warm. But this is the room. I think it's a 6 meter by 4 meter room, 6 or 7 meters. I've got a sliding door there behind the curtains. I use the curtains to sort of dampen audio. There's some dodgy mattresses that don't look too appealing that are just chucked there at the moment, and they help with sound deadening, getting rid of the echo. And I've made here there's a sort of a sound panel there, and I've also got, I'll sit down to show you guys, I've got a light up on the roof as well, or 2 lights. 2 sound panels there, they work well, again help reduce echo and things like that. Then down this pole here, I've got my microphone which I can adjust the height of, so for certain shots I've got to get rid of it. Where you go, focus on that a bit better. So there you go, there's the mic. And I've got my teleprompter there with the tablet, which I'm obviously not using at the moment, but that's there to help me with notes and things so I don't forget what processor I'm talking about or something like that. And then yeah, I've got one of my tripods down there. I've got there's a heap of stuff down there. You can't really see. There's an electric slider and a few other things. Big old mess of boxes and things I have and haven't opened there. But anyway, let's do kind of like an unboxing boxes, but just a real quick have a look at what I've got, show you guys, and yeah, then we'll wrap this up. So 2 of them. One will be probably going in the build and one will be going in a different build. Then what else do we have? Right, so where were we? Sorry about that weird cut that I probably just did then. The preamp for my camera just went, or the audio, the mic, preamp for the mic just went flat. Had to change the battery, so it's not an ideal setup, but it works pretty well for what I do. Anyway, audio should be back now, so I'll continue with what I was doing. I had just unboxed a whole heap of fans. I think I worked out it was 5 140mm ML140 Pro fans. So they're the RGB magnetic levitation fans. We got a whole heap of them for the build and a whole heap of the 120mm. So, and there's also some light strips in here as well. I don't know where I put those, but there's 3 boxes of light strips. They're probably in here. So it's going to be a well-lit build with boatloads of airflow. There'll be two systems will be going into the one case. So this new case supports a mini ITX and an extended ATX build or motherboard. So that's going to be very cool. I'm going to fill the thing right up as much as I can. And I'll review the case first, I would say, then do a build in it. And then later on, I will be taking out the all-in-one liquid coolers and replacing it with custom hard tube liquid cooling stuff like what I did in the Tower 900. So I'll do some kind of cool custom build there, probably with a brand like EK or something like that. So that should be good. That'll keep me busy in between benchmarks. So that's that. Unfortunately, I don't have too much else to show you guys. I'm pretty flat out with testing and stuff at the moment. I just purchased a 5820K, the 6-core 12-thread processor from a few generations ago. It uses X99 motherboards. I'm sure you guys are familiar with it. But a lot of guys that own them want to see how they compare to new modern processors, and people looking at buying secondhand want to know if these are worth buying or should they just get a new system like Ryzen or an 8th gen or whatever. So that video will be up very shortly. It might be around the same time you see this, depending on how I go with editing and whatnot. Yeah, plenty of things to do, plenty more benchmarks to come, plenty of testing. So flat out, I've got at least 6 things in the works at the moment that I'm sort of all chipping away at. So there'll be plenty of content on the main channel. As for these behind the scenes videos, let me know what kind of stuff you guys are interested in seeing. So that'll obviously help me work out what I should be doing. And as I said, this will just evolve throughout the year. So we start, doing more of it and doing a better job of it. A bit more planning and all that sort of stuff. Or just doing a better job of showing you guys what we're working on. A lot of the stuff we work on is kind of the same. Once you've seen someone benchmarking once, you've kind of seen them benchmarking everything. But there will be some cool new exciting products coming up later in the year that will be able to give you, to a certain degree, a sneak peek of those products being tested. Obviously no results or whatever, but should be able to show some cool stuff there. And of course, Tim will be doing stuff, and his stuff will be sort of from a different perspective. There'll be monitors and laptops, and he'll probably do a few cool things like how I'll be doing the benchmarking. He'll be showing you how he tests monitors and things like that with his tools. So that should be pretty cool as well. But at least in this quick little episode I've done, you've got to see the smallish room that I work in and how it's configured at the moment. There's still, eventually I'll get rid of these mattresses here and I'll make another sound panel to go there, and that'll neaten the room up a bit. What else will I do? Well, we've got the new build. I'll probably have to make a stand for that to go on. I'm probably going to have to tidy up the shelves and stuff and rearrange them soon. Glad I've got the new aircon in, because that'll help cool it. It's quite a hot day today and I'm not sitting here sweating because I've just cooled it down before I filmed. And then, yeah, I think for the next behind the scenes, we'll probably go up to the benchmark lab, I call it, the my office where I do all the benchmarking. That's a bigger room than this one. And there's an equal amount of crap in that one, computer gear. So, yeah, plenty going on there as well. Yeah, I'll probably, when I tear down the Tower 900, I'll probably film that and do another behind-the-scenes video shortly as well, featuring that. But I won't do that now because there's a few other things I have to do before I do that. So, yeah. And then, yeah, just also, again, we will be doing a live stream for you guys each month from Tim's studio. So that's something that's going to be pretty cool. So get your questions ready. And yeah, we'll be able to answer them, and we'll cover some hot topics and hopefully just have a cool, relaxed, good conversation. And we'll have you guys in the chat. Hopefully we can get most of you in there. That should be really good. So until then, take care of yourselves. Thank you massively. I really can't say how much Tim and I appreciate you guys supporting the channel. Yeah, realize you don't have to go and take your own money and give it to us to support the channel, but we do use it to buy things like this. This cost me $200 US, and we bought Tim some LED lights, the exact same lights you see here, and we spent about 750 Australian dollars buying them, and that was all straight out of the Patreon fund. So you guys are definitely helping improve things around here, helping us get stuff to test, and new cameras and lights and lenses and things to keep improving the content. So we really appreciate that. And yeah, we really want to start giving back and giving you guys a bit of extra content and things that you want. So feel free to criticize and give me as much constructive criticism to make the behind the scenes stuff a bit more enjoyable, a bit more interesting. And let me know the kind of things you want to see or me talk about or whatever, and I'll be sure to do it. But anyway, that is going to do it for this one. I know, yeah, it was short and there wasn't anything terribly exciting. So yeah, let me know in the comments what stuff you would like me to do, and I'll be sure to do it. And stay tuned for our live stream, which will be coming up in a week or so. So that should be cool. Oh yes, that's going to do it. I'll see you guys later.